All my life, people have said I'm smart, intelligent, a freak of nature, but that's not the case. Why, you ask? Well, that's the video we're going to get into today. So, a lot of people, have said I'm smart and why, I never get burnt out. What's your motivation? What keeps me going? Like, in school, college. And for all of you that don't know me, I'm in college now. I'm always working. So I'm here to answer, anyone that's wondering, how to stay, locked in, how to never get burnt out in college, because I know it can get hard. So let's dive deep into that topic right now. And if you haven't like the video, because you're gonna enjoy it, subscribe for more, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, first point. Every day is an opportunity to get ahead, not to lay around. And what do I mean by that? I mean that there's a lot of time in the day that we don't use to our advantage. Like, people think that, like, oh, let me work so hard today to not work hard tomorrow, or chill today and work hard tomorrow. And I think to really stay locked in, you have to think that you have to put all the energy you have into today and realize that tomorrow is a new day for new opportunities, for new energy to be dispersed into whatever you want to get into life. And with college, like, every day is an opportunity to really study, really to, like, do everything you need to get done. And, like, you have to know what's important to you. You have to know that if making good grades is, like, important to you, you have to put most of your energy into that. And yes, balance is a great thing to have, but you have to put balance in, like, the top things you prioritize in life. So essentially, be aware of what you're doing right now. Like, right now you're watching this video, but is that the best use of your time that you could be using on more studying, more, like, time to do homework? Is this the best use of your time? If it is, then that's good. But if it's not, then you should realize what the most important thing to you is. So just be aware of what you're doing, and is that really, are you using that time wisely? The next point I would say is drive. A lot of people ask me how am I motivated to always stay working? Do I ever get burnt out? And the case is, like, I'm not really motivated all the time to get into my studying, get into my work, but it doesn't even matter because I'm driven. I'm driven that the fact that I know that my future is on the line from what I'm doing today, that's what keeps me, driven. Like, I know my parents, raised me, you know, for someone, if you're Asian, you foreign or anything, and, like, my parents, they came, over America to give me, a decent life to, keep going and make a living for myself to, provide and everything. So why am I gonna waste my time, no, not using my time wisely to get to where I want to be? I feel like repaying my parents, everything that I went through is just, like, something that is a need and not just an option. And I feel like that's how you gotta, like, think. Like, if you're unmotivated, you have to think back to your real reason why you're doing this. Why are you in school? Is it to get a job? Okay, what type of job? A high paying job. Why do you want to get a high paying job? You got to think back to the origin of why you're doing the things you're doing. So if you want to get a high paying job, why do you want to do that? Do you want to give back to your parents? Do you want to provide, for your significant other? Like, make that reason very strong. So whenever you're unmotivated, you go back to that reason and you know why you're doing what you're doing. Don't rely on motivation. Rely on that drive, and just stay driven, because that's how I've been going for the last many years of my life. Like, you're staying driven to the next goal, to the next accomplishment, to, getting a better future. That's why I'm driven to, drive every day, like with everything I'm doing. Third point is, kind of mentioned this before, but prioritize the things that matter. And it's not as simple as it seems. Like a lot of people have like 10 different things they have to do throughout the day, or they have like 5 different clubs to attend to. They have 5 different people that they gotta satisfy into social events. They have to go to the market to get groceries, or just whatever. And when we really break it down, you have to, if you really want to make progress in the things that matter to you, you have to prioritize them. It's not the fact that if you continue to put all your energy into many different things, then you're not going to make progress in, you're not going to make a lot of progress in all of them. You're going to make a little progress in each of them when you can have a lot of progress in just 1 or 2 things. And that's where you got to prioritize the things that matter. So the most important thing to you is your career. Then if you put all your energy into that, and within a year it's going to progress so much. But if you have 10 different things you have to worry about, then that career is barely going to even increase, and probably will decrease because you're not putting enough energy into it. And if school is your main priority, you have to put most of your hours into that to really have progress. You can't think of, oh, let me do some of this, let me do some of that. You're going to be a master of none, and eventually all those 10 things that you were putting your energy to will just die out. They're going to fall out, and you basically wasted all your energy into them. But if you can just put all your energy into 1 cup, then that plant is going to grow so much that it's going to live and sustain. But if you use all your energy or all your water into 10 cups, then they're going to grow a little, but eventually they're all going to die out. So just keep that in mind, and what really matters the most should be your focus. The 4th thing I want to get into is make studying the most fulfilling thing. So for example, in college, if you want to study, you want to get the highest grade possible, you want to achieve the best that you never could have imagined, you have to make it a habit. Don't start out so strong, like I'm gonna change my whole life, I'm gonna study 30 out, crazy amount, no breaks, no anything, because eventually you're just gonna fall out, and you're not gonna last long. So if you, for example, if you want to study and all the time without getting burnt out, then you have to make it the most fulfilling thing of your day. If the phone, a lot of people use their phones on a daily basis. They have that as their most fulfilling thing they do. Using your phone is more fulfilling than studying, right? So you're going to be more happy, you're going to be more fulfilled by scrolling through your phone all day than actually diving deep into some topics. So the way to eliminate that and make studying more fulfilling is take away that phone, take away access to that phone when you can. So if you have no technology, then the most fulfilling thing is your studying. Then if that is the most fulfilling thing of your day, then you're going to be inclined to keep studying, okay, I don't have nothing to do today. Oh, studying sounds fun, because you can't use your phone. You can't infinitely scroll through TikTok, Instagram. If you can, just have your phone down for a good amount of time, then you can actually prioritize your studying. So it's kind of inversely related. The less time you use your phone, the more time you're going to study, essentially, in college. And that's just one way to put it, though. So whatever you want to achieve, And the way to get to there, if it's boring or whatever, like studying 5 hours a day it can get boring. But when it's the most fulfilling thing to you throughout the day, then you're gonna do it. You're gonna, like, instead of staying in a room doing nothing, can't access technology, nothing, I would rather go study. So just be aware that your phone is destroying your fulfillment from studying, from doing homework. So if you can limit your phone use, then you're going to be more inclined to study. And the fifth thing is work ethic. Well, I think that work ethic is just so important. It might be cliche, but like, work ethic will get you farther than simply relying on your intelligence or relying on your base smartness. Like, a person can be so smart, but the person that works so hard compared to someone that's just smart but doesn't work to get smarter, that person that is working to get smarter is going to eventually surpass the person that is just naturally intelligent. And that's because a person that is just naturally smart, they're not gonna do the extra stuff. They're not gonna be inclined to really dive deep. They're gonna have a base of knowledge. And like, I think that's the main reason why I got as far as I did, is because throughout my life, like, work ethic's the only thing that has kept me like actually successful, in school. Like, every time I think that I'm not smart or people are just smarter than me, I have to think that like I'm like capable of those things too. Not because I'm just smart, but because I actually put the work in. Like, but you gotta have the mindset as well to, like, if people are just naturally smarter than you, they start off at a higher position than you have to realize that you can surpass anyone if you have the right mindset and the right work ethic to do so. So it doesn't matter how hard like someone or how smart someone is. I look at it as like, okay, I can put in more hours, more work, and eventually I can just surpass them in the topic. Like you have to have the mindset. If you really want to succeed, you have to know that it doesn't matter how hard they work or how hard the subject is. Your work ethic is always a tool that you can reach in your toolbox to surpass everything in your way, to defeat every obstacle in your way. Like, think about all the basketball players. Like, yes, there are naturally tall basketball players that are just good, but when they get to the NBA, do you think they just stop and don't, work anymore? They have tough workouts, like, very often. Like, they've been, like, work ethic is what differentiates one from going to D1 basketball and going to the NBA. Like, there are so many naturally talented people, but they don't have the grades to, level up. They don't have the characteristics of an NBA player. And if you see like the skill gap, even if you can't see it, there is a really big skill gap from the NBA to the college basketball like league or whatever. Because the NBA, people in the NBA know that their natural talent is not gonna get them as far as it could if they use all their work ethic they had. So just know that in college, when you're trying to study for exam or whatever, the people that are just naturally smart are gonna get a score, but the people that actually put all their effort and work ethic are gonna know more like of the context deeper, and it's gonna get them way farther in life. It's just a great characteristic to have, and it will never fail you. And if it does, it's your first attempt. You have to realize that you have to keep going back no matter what. And I think that's a really good tip, is that never think that you cannot use your work ethic to achieve something. It is always something that you can use to outwork anything. to master a concept, master a topic, master a skill. So those are my 5 main points on why I never get burnt out in college. It's because I'm driven. It's because I know every day is an opportunity to get ahead, not to lay around. And I prioritize the things that matter, which is studying. And I try to make studying the most fulfilling thing, because if it is, I'm gonna always do it. And then my work ethic. Always had a great work ethic, and I'll continue to develop my work ethic to get to where I want to be. Like, and the work ethic is based upon my drive, and being driven helps with work ethic. So those are all interconnected, but if you realize that, you'll go really far and you won't be burnt out next time you get unmotivated. That's all I have for today. Tongue goes crazy. Make sure you sub, like, comment, share. Tell me what you want to see next. Post noties, and peace on the streets, son.